session. We will move on with the director's report, please, Nicole.
Okay, so May, I attended a directors roundtable in Sturbridge with other local library directors. We had a great time talking about trends we're seeing in and around other libraries in the area. The 12th was the Friends of the Library meeting. We talked a little bit about the upcoming book sale dates, which will be for November, and things that we can do to improve participation with the Friends. On the 19th, I attended the annual town meeting. Our budget passed without question, so that was exciting. And then for continuing education on the 22nd, I did a webinar on 2026 serials, an outlook about emerging trends and strategic implications. So a serials is just anything published under the same title, magazines, newspapers, annual text, that type of thing. So the staff update for the month of May, I asked them all to attend a CW Mars annual circulation and resource sharing meeting. There were 5 sessions offered through CW Mars, some in person, some in remote. Unfortunately, the staff couldn't attend in person. We just don't have enough staff in the building to let people go, but they all did a remote session. And the people that weren't on shift were able to review the meeting notes at a later date. They all enjoyed it. It's kind of fun for them to get together with their counterparts and see some of the trends. One of the big things that they discussed was charging fees to out-of-state libraries, which I know we talked about a year ago. I'm going to bring that up this summer again so we can review that. I'm putting together some notes on that. I might have changed my position on that based on some of the things that we're seeing happening. So that was discussed at the meeting. Kathy also attended the Friends meeting. Ann, Kathy, and Deb all took an advanced brief mark records training, which has to do with cataloging. And Jubilee went to a anime conference in Boston because she is the staff member who is working towards her master's right now. So that was something that she was interested in doing, which wasn't funded by the town, but definitely we reap the benefits of that. May 21st, the first graders visited the library. We had 133 students on site. The teachers were amazing. The staff, we cannot tell you how much we appreciate you letting us start late. We got some more valuable feedback, and we plan on doing the same thing again next year. So one of the teachers took the time, Michelle Gray, the reading specialist, to write us a note, and she just said, "Dear Nicole, Kathy, and Deb, we cannot thank you enough for creating such a comfortable, well-organized, and amazing tour of your beautiful library. You truly are incredible. The students had a fantastic time and continued to discuss their experience long after our visit. We especially love getting a glimpse into the inner workings of the library. We have been bringing our first graders to the library every year, and each visit gets better and better. It was difficult to leave because you have created such a welcoming and beautiful environment for everyone visiting the Pearl L. Crawford Memorial Library." So I thought that was really nice that she said that. Yeah, the kids had a great time. We broke out into groups of 3. Deb took a group, I took a group, and Kathy took a group, and they got to see all the inner workings of the library. It was a lot of fun, and we've actually seen a lot of kids come back the past 2 weeks, and they're very excited because they get to tell their parents, "I know what's back there," and they want to go in the back room. So, and they were excited to see the teen room, so that was nice. And a lot of the teachers have never really been throughout the library. They didn't even know there was a teen room, which blows my mind. So yeah. So it was a great time for everyone. Facility, I did have my first meeting with Edge Automation, who is the company that's going to help us navigate the HVAC control systems. We had our preliminary meeting. I'm waiting to get a project expediter assigned to us so we can see if what we can get for grants on the next go around, which won't be till fall of spring of next year. But we've started the process with that. I did meet with a local electrician to discuss lighting options for the children's room, where we're looking for that nook. Again, specialty lighting, he said if he buys it, it's still going to be marked up. Still haven't decided how I'm going to move forward with the project. I'm thinking I might consider moving some of the shelves that are in that area and opening up and bringing some more light in and seeing if that helps. And then we would only have to light 2 sections. I did buy a temporary light on Amazon. It's a picture light or a piano light with the LED because they're, 16 inches with the gooseneck. It didn't do anything to help that situation, to help that corner. It's just not bright enough. It doesn't hang over enough. But good news is we were able to use that lighting for the podium in the Fells room, which we desperately needed.
Good.
So that was a win-win, so.
And it's looking like spaghetti every time you add another light up there. I mean, you've got more wires playing up there.
It's an unusual corner. Yeah, it really is. So,
I like the idea of maybe moving,
we're definitely looking at
like
that.
that's an alternative
Yeah.
way to try to.
yeah,
Okay.
yep.
And on a positive note, the front lawn was reseeded by the
And it's
highway
growing,
crew.
thanks
and
to all
it-
this rain.
And it grew, so we have a nice green front hill. It's very nice. I did reach out to Suburban Landscape today and touch base with them about like tree and hedge trimming after the day of caring, which is in June. It's in 2 weeks. We're gonna see what we can get for weeds, but we have like full oak saplings coming up through the front hedges now. So I think we do need Suburban a little bit, hopefully not too much, but he's gonna check in with me next week.
Excuse me, while we're on facilities, I know we talked about it briefly one day, but do we have any thoughts in terms of maybe sealing the parking lot?
We can definitely put it on the to-do list for 26.
Okay, just to see what the possibilities are. And I don't know, and we also had discussed the possibility of finding someone with a paintbrush that's high enough to get to the top of the flagpole. I don't know that we're getting anywhere with that one. That's been lingering for a couple of years now. We've been
That's
hoping to
always
find
been
someone.
on,
Do we have a solar light there?
We don't have a solar light, and we should have a
And
solar light.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should have a
Flag.
solar
Flag
light.
up all the
time.
And if a
Yeah.
solar light is being installed,
same time.
Somebody
we
could-
could paint.
That's
Just
a
saying.
Good idea.
good combination.
One stone.
Yeah.
We were on
We
the,
should have a solar light.
we were on the fire department's list at one point. They were going to
Yeah.
help out with that.
We were.
We were on their list, but obviously we fell off the list.
Well, we could, they're invited to our thing on July 10th, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So tell them to bring their ladder.
And
Bring
just,
the paintbrush.
The ladder
right, that'd be good.
Was it you that had
take
spoken
up a lot of
with the fire
parking lot.
department about doing that, or was it the last director?
No, I think it was it must have been the last director. I talked to Highway about seeing if we could get one of the guys to come over and paint, and I wasn't told no. But as everyone knows, that their department is very short right now, so they always seem to be able to make things happen with their magic wand, so I won't be surprised if
Was
we.
it the fire department, or was it the highway department that was
I-
spoken to?
I think we had talked about possibly both, but I think, I stand corrected, I think we probably were focused more on the highway department. But as you mentioned, they don't have anybody or have next to nobody, so the likelihood there, the fire department, I don't know, how long would that take for them to?
But I don't think you haven't talked to them about it.
No, the fire department, no.
No, not the highway department.
I have spoken to
You
the
ha-
hi-
oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we keep it on the table, hopefully something will come up somewhere opposite.
Yeah, as a reminder every now and then, where am I on that list?
It's definitely on the list.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, the list is long.
It is, but it's all getting done, so it's good. I will be at the annual Strawberry Fest on Thursday, June 19th. I will be highlighting e-services, Libby Craftsy, handing out giveaways and more. Charlton Public Library has this really cool Libby banner. It's huge. So I reached out to the director and asked her if I could borrow it for the day, so she said yes, but I want to show you. It got,
Getting dressed?
yeah, I know. This is not a dress. It's a table.
Oh, a table.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
table.
Oh, I like
yeah.
that. That's
So it just kind of brings some attention, and it slips right under the table
Yep.
leg,
Yep.
so it won't blow away.
I've
So
seen those, those are nice.
we're gonna see how that works on.
Are you going to be by yourself on the Strawberry Festival?
Yes, it's a holiday, so the library is closed that day, so I cannot ask staff who are being paid for a holiday to come and work. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Last
What
time
time does it start?
4-ish. Jeannie from the Friends said that she would come and sit with me. It'll be good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
Oh, I wonder, will the friends have like something at the table then? Oh,
I hope
perfect.
so. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe this
Yes.
So,
Friends membership.
So they are on break for the next 2 months,
Just sent mine in.
but I will
I just sent it
definitely,
in
yeah.
yesterday.
That would be nice to maybe just show them that what we saw, and is that something like we could keep on the desk
What is that?
in the library?
It's the Webster's request.
Yeah,
Just nice and colorful.
It is
I
different
purchased
levels. I
the-
mean, it's.
The
I
folded
don't know.
envelope we get from Dudley.
Entice somebody, it gives you the option of being more involved or less involved. I think at the bottom you can
Very
check off.
basic, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was
But,
cute, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, very good, Richard.
and obviously just erase the Kelly Library portion of it. Redact it.
Very good.
I still have the same one sheet events for the summer.
But it's a very full sheet.
Yeah, I cannot express enough how much that you should go to the website and check all our event calendar often. We've already added 3 more events today.
Oh,
To July. We're having a shark story time. We're having another teen program. The teens, I don't know if you saw yesterday or today, I think it was posted. Yesterday, the teens were on site. For their Goldfish Challenge, we had 17 teens in the building doing the programming. It was amazing. So,
Goldfish challenge?
yeah, so it's a
How many
taste,
could you eat in 1 minute?
taste test challenge.
Oh, that's, so that's what it was, like they could identify what the.
Yep,
fish flavor
yep, just a nice way for them to get together and
Yeah.
By
use
way
the
of
facility. Yeah,
Love
so-
that.
So they have requested Cheez-Its. So Kathy is going to accommodate, the Friends pay for the teen programming, so she's going to be doing Cheez-Its in July for them. And then she's also added on a Tinker and Create program for the littles, because we focus so much on the littles during the year, and then summer reading comes and there's not a lot for kids under 5. She's going to do a Tinker and Create drop-in program, which is also on our event calendar. So please check the event calendar. We've been handing out these bookmarks for the Save the Date, the 15-year celebration, making sure that everybody who checks out items from the library is being invited to the event. 4 to 7 on July 10th. Is it the 10th?
Yep.
Perfect.
They're adorable.
Thanks. They got my Pat approval. I went right to Pat. Pat, is this okay?
Great. That's fantastic.
So the library traffic, May was not as busy as April, which we expect because April vacation tends to be very popular. Right now, we've had 46,779 people through the building this year. We can't wait to get through next month and see how we compare to the previous years. We're up about 7,000 people in the building year over year.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So you're saying that's so far, and the prior years aren't even close, and those are complete years. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
April, May, and June of FY '23 was that tough year of voting. So that those 3 highlighted cells, those are just estimates. Those are correct numbers, but I just don't know which month they hit, so I just averaged those out. But yeah, we're definitely still trending up.
Definitely not much of a change in those 3 months, is there?
Nope. Just had to average it. I had to decide, I had to go for something. But if I had to guess, I bet there was more people in April and less people in May. So that trend line is probably pretty similar to the other 2 years.
Given the fact that, you're a little less than 12,000 people in the town of Dudley, what do you think is our max? Are we gonna hit 60,000? Or, I mean, at some point, you hit the top. The ceiling is there. We just haven't gotten to it yet. Unless you keep them on some kind of a conveyor belt and they keep coming in through the,
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that would be amazing. I
That
don't
would
think
be.
it's out of the question. I mean, if the programming continues to be what people are looking for and we continue to offer
Right.
it and hit it on the head, yeah, it's
but
definitely.
it's just, given the hours and the facility, is just, there is a point at which you
Yeah.
can't get any more sardines in that can.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. So we need more hours.
Well, that's, yeah.
We'll buy you a sleeping bag.
No, thank you. Circulation statistics continue to grow. Adults were up 9% year over year, children's room 25% year over year. for a total of 14%. And then the digital items continue to grow. Those were up 20% year over year. So digital, physical combined, we saw an increase of 15.6% for the month of May.
That just blows my mind.
I'm kind of surprised by that number still, too.
I mean, I could see it like after we got through the financial crisis in '23 and we were, smooth, like we're getting back into the groove and what have you. But the fact that this continues to grow every month, and not by a small number. I mean, we are double digit blowing it up. And I truly have to thank you and your staff, Nicole, because you definitely have your stethoscope on the pulse of the community and listen to what
Giving them
people
what they
want.
want, yeah.
So it's funny, I
We've gone
thought,
beyond the community. I was in the library today, and there were a number of cars with Connecticut license plates.
yes, there are a lot of
And I
Connecticut.
think we're becoming something maybe of a regional phenomenon as opposed to just a local Dudley resident-only situation, which is fine and wonderful, but
And I know a few summer residents on Webster Lake who like
Webster,
to come
yeah.
to Dudley.
Well, I think we've always.
We've always gotten
not
that
always,
little
but-
clique that comes,
Is-
they pick
That's
their
nice.
libraries and
Yep.
just that way.
Yeah, well, sometimes parking's pretty tough to come by over at the Kelly
That's true
Library
too.
And it's a
That may
little
be,
awkward
that may
getting
be a
in and
big
out
part of it.
too.
That may be a big
Well,
part of
we're-
it.
A little more accommodating as far as that goes, but it's just, I think that we've gone beyond the borders of the town of Dudley to at least some extent anyway, which is again a good thing. More is always better.
What is CC grant?
Cultural Council.
Oh, okay. I knew it was like,
I know.
I should know what that was.
That's okay, I have very limited space.
No, yep. Yes, I understand.
But I was interested to see what the circulation stats were, so I went and looked at some of our neighboring libraries, and there's one that's up 1%, there's another that's up about 4%, and then there are multiple libraries in the area that are actually down circulation 6, 7, 8, 9%. So
Wow.
I just wanted to see.
They're all coming to Dudley.
Well, I don't know. I
Maybe
mean,
some of them, yeah.
I really wanted to see if we were the anomaly. So I think we were like right in the middle. We definitely have some room for growth still. We want more people borrowing. Like we're seeing a lot of retirees coming in now looking for Libby help. Today I did 2 cards for a husband and wife. So yeah, I said to him, I said, "Did you just recently retire?" And he said, "I did." I said, "They come when they're kids, and then they leave, and then they come with their kids, and then when they retire again." So the full circle. We had 56 programs in May. We served 622 people. Ongoing passive programs for adults and kids still continue to be very popular. The teens are really getting into the crafting, which is pretty cool. They did 30 crafts last month, which surprises me.
Oh my gosh.
Keeping their hands busy.
Yes.
One
And not
at
on a
least
phone.
one every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have Kathy's wonderful report. She continues to just, make the children's room shine. Her story times, she had 7 story times with 94 participants, 4 baby open plays. We had Wiggles and Giggles on site, Me and My Mini, which is another program for non-walkers. Her graphic novel book club, 5 kids attended, which was very cool. She had the Teens Pringle Taste Test Challenge. And she had a lot of National Junior Honor Society volunteers for May. May's a tough month at the library because all the kids that need their hours that have waited descend. And I will tell you, Kathy handled it like a champ. So thank you to Kathy. And then, of course, we had our wonderful school visit. She had 77 take-home craft kits, take and make craft kits, 3 new 1,000 books before kindergarten sign up, and 103 kids did her scavenger hunt. So it was a successful month.
Good one.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Shall we move to the equipment and facility update?
I think I snuck that one in, I'm sorry. I just followed my report, I didn't follow the agenda, but we had the HVAC,
Oh, that's right, you did talk
yep,
about
and then the
this.
lighting.
Nope, you're good. And then, let's talk a little bit about finances.
Okay, so we have 3.5 weeks of budget left for FY '25. We are going to spend it right down.
Oh, I don't think Ben heard the number.
So if all calculates correctly, we're gonna have $74 left in our budget this year.
Oh, wow.
So we'll be pretty close. We've already reached our materials expenditure requirement, which is great, because of course we get to add in museum passes and our digital content for that number. Rachel has been on site for 3 weeks, and she's being paid out of state aid. So we'll have the number that you see on here is very accurate for the state aid. If we have any last minute bills come in for materials, we'll take it out of our lost book account for the year. Does anybody have any questions?
Were we in receipt of gifts?
Yes. Yeah.
Nope, that looks great. Thank you so
Excellent.
much. All right, next item on our agendas is the subcommittee updates. When we met last time, we did establish a subcommittee to kind of talk a little bit about Crawford Corner. We had a second that was going to work with Nicole developing goals and so forth because it becomes part of her evaluation. And then, obviously, the other piece was working on the contract for Nicole for a 3-year period. So who would like to speak to one or any of those?
Speak to the objectives,
Thank you so much.
and as soon as Nicole has a breathing room, we will meet up to come up with some ideas.
Perfect. All right, fantastic.
Well, with regard to
I was just say Ben and Jean will be working.
Crawford Corner
Okay.
thing, I talked to Nicole on a couple of occasions, and we haven't included you, Joyce. I apologize for that. That was poor form, to say the least. But we did get from the planning department the site plan. And from the bylaws, town bylaws, a parking space has to be 20 by 9. And just eyeballing it, observation, a couple of things that I find concerning with regards to that bit of property is, one is the elevation. It's probably as much as 4 feet above the current parking area. So how do you get over that or get to that without creating some kind of a road access? And given the fact that there's not a whole lot of space there to begin with, whatever road access or driveway access is going to cut in significantly to the parking spaces.
Right.
And then when you look at it at 20 by 9, that's a pretty substantial chunk of real estate as well. The other issue that I see there is there are large rocks or boulders, if you will, many of which you can see above ground, but the question would be what's below there. My suggestion would be that we contact the town engineer, Graves, and ask them to do a feasibility study in terms of what we might be able to realize in terms of parking spaces at a reasonable cost, as opposed to trying to level the whole thing necessarily. Because I think there's could be pretty involved if we have to move a lot of rock there. As I recall, that used to be the site of the town hall at one time. Yeah, after they closed the school. The
Town hall?
library,
No,
well,
with where
some
the
part of
library
that
was.
property. But the issue was, as I recall with that, was they had initially wanted to put a basement into that town hall building, which was the police station as well. Everything was there at one point.
It was
But
to
that-
the right
But-
side of the
Yeah, I
property.
know, I'm not saying that specific area, but that
Oh,
area,
oh.
that
Our
plot of
property,
land.
our
Yeah,
property, yeah,
okay.
our
Right,
property,
that plot
yeah,
of
yeah.
land, and I believe the issue with that was that they ran into so much shale or rock
Yeah.
that required blasting, and the cost was prohibitive. So they didn't want to go down, and that's why, maybe why we don't have it effectively a basement in our building.
Yeah, didn't they run into more ledge than they anticipated with
Yes.
our building?
So, how much of
There is
that
ledge.
extends into this area and what kind of issues that might bring up
Yep,
in terms
you're
of.
correct there, yep.
As we start moving closer to a neighbor's property, we don't certainly want to get into blasting, I wouldn't think, not to mention the cost that would be incurred if we did try to do something like that. So, again, my suggestion would be we ask the town engineer to take a look at it, give us just a feasibility. Yeah, you can get 10 spaces out of this, or you can get 3. And
That's a
then,
good beginning,
you know,
excellent beginning.
see whether, whatever that number might be, whether we think it's cost prohibitive or whether we think it's worth pursuing. But that doesn't solve the issue if we have a core issue in terms of parking. I don't know, we're focused on this area right now, and I don't know whether there are other thoughts in terms of somehow taking care of that as a concern. But that's further down the road.
I was gonna say, start here, see what we're going,
Yeah.
and this gets put to
So
the
you
back
mean like
burner.
considering the front part of where we park now? Or-
Well, that would probably be the alternative. You can't go back,
You're right.
so it's either up front or on the side. And there's this slope, obviously, there. So, you know, you might have to get in some kind of a retaining wall, you have to have steps maybe walking people up, or a ramp, because it has to be
Right.
ADA compliant.
Exactly.
And then again, another thought too is if you add additional parking spaces, what percentage of those would have to be handicap access?
Right, right.
One thing that could be a plus is if we were able to add additional spaces, if we could get them EV accessible. You know, we do have some now, but certainly as the ban goes into effect at some point in Massachusetts, people are gonna have to plug in or do a lot of walking.
Thank you, Richard, thank you, Pat. I know that at our last meeting, we discussed somebody who had been involved previously. I can't think of her name right now.
Anne Marie
Oh,
Safraye.
yes.
Yes. Was she contacted, or?
I had no contact with her. I know we had talked about meeting with her. I don't know if she's
In
been in the
regards to
library.
what? I guess I don't remember.
Her name began with an L. And,
Lynette.
Lynette,
Oh,
yeah.
Lynette.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
she said Anne Marie, you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
totally
yeah,
different people,
totally
okay.
different people.
So I did run into Lynette, and we briefly spoke about it, and she said she would definitely be interested in, you know, meeting about, you know, preliminary steps.
Last name is Lepper?
Leper, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that, obviously, if we're having a meeting and someone's name is brought up, that person is reached out to.
involved, yeah.
So, all right, thank you so much, Richard. I know there's a lot of, it seems like, you know, there's always a lot of angles to look at everything, so I appreciate you and your realistic approaches. Excellent. All right, next thing, my good friend Pat had brought up the fiscal year '26 meeting schedule.
And thank you for your comments and corrections, Nicole.
Well, I printed
I
out.
think I printed that.
Where's
I
version?
didn't print
Oops,
that.
sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you did? Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, I'll print one out when I get to you. I'm usually good if we get the next meeting. We'll go from there. That one is the 8th of July, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Boom.
Just a glance over here.
And as Nicole pointed out, November 11th is Veterans Day, so suggestion was to meet on the 12th on Wednesday, that month.
Oh, okay.
Do we know if the room is available on Wednesdays? Is the room available on Wednesdays?
Well, I have to run this by Jackie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Jackie will approve it, and then
Okay.
I'll send it out.
That's usually planning board
Like
night.
that away with Columbus.
Oh,
On
is
the
it?
12th, yeah.
Oh, okay. And is that the intent? They want all meetings to happen here? Or can we use the other room?
Can use the other room, except that it's really funky video from
It
there.
is, I noticed that it's
All
very
sections.
blocks.
Yeah.
You're better off here if you could.
Yeah, you can
get
get it
into
here,
it.
it's better, yeah.
And we can push it off a week too, that's fine. I just didn't know if it's, what's easier for everybody.
November always seems to go by like a flash.
Very fast.
A lot of times we combine meetings so that the
We've
holiday.
done that in December,
That last
January.
year,
We've done
yeah.
that the last couple of years, but see what comes when we get closer.
Okay. No, I'm fine with that. So thank you for making
Yeah,
us all
putting
think
that
12 months in
together.
advance.
Yeah, really. Yahoo.
Yeah, I was getting confused using 2 calendars.
Okay, fair. All right, folks, it's that time in the meeting. Board member comments and/or observations.
Just continue, thank you, especially with these numbers.
Yeah, wonderful.
Just one thought, we do have town election next week. I know there aren't a lot of contested offices, but hopefully people will be involved enough to make an appearance at the polls.
Yes.
As you- I know a lot of questions always come up as to how things are done in town, but if you don't vote, it seems a little disingenuous for you to be complaining later on and after the fact. So much for that thought.
Here.
That's fair. Jean, any thoughts? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very succinct.
Joyce, anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Excellent. All right, and thank goodness I have Ms. Pat saying the next library trustee meeting will be held on July 8th, 2025, here in room 321.
Before we adjourn, can I just read something really quick from the American Library Association about the defunding of the IMLS? Just, I'm sure everybody at the table has already read this article, but just for the public. 21 states sued the federal government regarding the disestablishment of the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which is the IMLS, in April. A district court judge agreed in a preliminary injunction. IMLS has resumed services and funding. Its employees have returned to work for now. Many thanks for your letters and calls. Do not stop. The fight is not over. Keep letting your legislators and the administration know what library funding does for your communities and their voters. Talk to them during summer break. If anybody would like to come to the library to drop off any advocacy letters, we can get them over to John Marcy to share. They cannot express enough how important it is to have handwritten stories that touch people's lives. So I just wanted to give that update.
That's fantastic.
John says that every time he's in public with us,
Yes,
how important it is to have personal stories.
personal stories.
He does say that.
Absolutely. And we have a whole group of first graders who just
Yes.
Yes.
lived it
sent-
in person.
Yeah, sent a nice personal story.
So that's fantastic.
Actually, that would be something good to,
Share.
yeah, to
Yeah,
share
send that.
also, yeah.
I guess with permission, but share that letter.
We sure can, yeah. It was a great experience.
And did you hear from any of the other groups that came?
I think it was the third graders that we got a letter from too. I think it was in one of the other trustees' reports, but yeah, the teachers were very, very thankful. And it was funny because when we opened the building that day, one of the Crawford granddaughters was awaiting.
Joanna, yeah,
And,
Joe was there, Jojo
yeah.
was there.
And she's like, "What is happening? Do you do this every Wednesday?" And I was like, "Oh, no." I mean, it was like lines of kids out the door, so she was very happy to see the library. And yeah, it was
Joe just
very
got up.
funny.
What
And I was
going
very
on here?
thankful that she introduced herself to me too, because I wouldn't have, I don't know if I would have put it
Are
together.
you a parent? What are you doing?
I know.
here?
Oh,
What are
that's
you doing here?
wonderful. Yeah. That's wonderful, but the library is an intricate part of our community, and, I mean, it doesn't matter, like you said, you know, you go when you're young, you go when you have kids, you go, you know, when you retire or what have you, but it is for everyone.
You don't age out.
Absolutely not.
The only other things in town for everyone are the blue lights and the red lights,
Truth. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
and I don't want them.
No, sir. All right, that being said,
Motion to adjourn.
thank you,
Second.
Mr. Craver, and thank you, Mr. Clark. Could I have a verbal vote? Is that what it has to be?
No, just
No, we can just say goodnight.
aye.
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 All parties are done. Time is